Hello everyone and welcome back to another installment of Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. This review is on Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. Let's not waste any more time, let's go ahead and jump right into the history section of Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. So Thomas and the Really Brave Engines is one of those releases that has a very brief history. It was released for the first time back in 2006 on VHS and DVD, and then was released at some point in 2014-2015 in a double feature pack with Thomas and the Toy Workshop, which we will be taking a look at in a separate episode of this series. So let's go ahead and jump right into the close-up section of Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. Alrighty everyone, here's your close-up view at Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. Now we're going to start off with the 2006 DVD copy here. Don't have any VHS copies to look at here because that VHS is extremely elusive, I guess you could say, and it's not that easy to pick up. But anyway, we'll get to that in the rarity and how much you should pay for it section. Anyway, let's start out with this copy here. This is a Wooden Train bonus pack version, as you can see from the box right here. This came with Frank. It doesn't say anywhere in the box, but it did come with Frank. On the back, you have a little thing that notes that it's a Wooden Train bonus pack, includes Thomas and Friends Wooden Railway engine, and then how you open it, here at the top, there's where the engine would be, and then back in the back here is where the case, I'm going to take the flaps out, is where the case slides in. And it is a slim case, so it can fit in there. So, we saw something similar to this back in A Big Day for Thomas, I believe. I don't know if I showed that box, but yeah, my slim case version of A Big Day for Thomas was a Wooden Train bonus pack. It came with Caroline, just in case I didn't mention that. But anyway, let's take a look at the actual DVD. So, you got Thomas and Friends, Thomas and the Really Brave Engines, Thomas and Gordon, Donald and Douglas at Castle Lock. On the side, there's no cartoon Thomas because this is a slim version, so we just have the title in white on the side. It's actually kind of hard to pick up on the camera here. On the back, making tracks to great destinations. Got a picture from All Over the Snow Engine, and I think that's James and the Queen of Sodor, I believe. There's your blurb, there's your bonus content, and your story stops. Pop sucker open. There's your disc with just a squished up version of the poster art. That's our first copy. We also have a second 2006 print that you could find in Totally Thomas Volume 4. We have taken a look at New Friends for Thomas and A Big Day for Thomas. Now we're rounding it off with Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. So, they are thick cases. They aren't the slim cases, which is nice. So, this is the exact same poster art and such, except mine has a little splat on it from something. I'm not really sure what that is, but it doesn't ever want to come off. It's weird. Anyway, on the side, we've got Cartoon Thomas, the DVD logo, Anchor Bay on the back, same blurb, same pictures, same story stops and all that. And if we pop it open, it's the exact same disc. That's our second 2006 copy. Now our last copy is a 2014 print, which you could find in a double pack with Thomas and the Toy Workshop. Here's Thomas and the Really Brave Engines side. You can just see Gordon, which I guess they just put Gordon there because Thomas is on this side of the cover, so I guess just decided to only put Gordon there, but it doesn't make sense because Thomas and the Really Brave Engines and you see Gordon. I don't know. It's interesting. The side hit logo, scroll on down here, you've got Really Brave Engines on the bottom with Toy Workshop on the top. We've got a picture of Thomas from the Toy Workshop cover on the front here. On the back, let's only look at the Really Brave Engines blurb. I think it's the same blurb. I didn't take the time to read the whole thing. And then we've got our features, 6 fun-filled episodes, sing-along song, 2 games, and a read-along story and more. Alright, mini rant. I think it's awesome that Universal is going back and releasing some of these older releases, but I don't like on how this newer style of packaging that they just say 6 fun-filled stories. List the stories, please. I missed that. Pop this open. Disc on the top is Thomas and the Toy Workshop, but we flip it over. We have Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. There's no artwork on it at all. It's just the title and clear disc with Universal logo, hit logo, and copyright information around it. So I'm not really a fan of how those look. They look kind of cheap to me, but hey, I guess you could say it's cool because we're getting them again. So that's your close-up look at Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. Let's go ahead and transition into our menu tour. Alrighty everyone, here's our menu tour of Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. We're starting off with the 2006 copy version. We'll be taking a look at the 2014 version after this. So let's go ahead and unmute the TV and get a little snippet of what's going on.
To watch all the adventures of Thomas and the Really Brave Engines, select Play All Stories. If you wish to select one of your favorite adventures, please choose Pick.
So, Sir Topham Hatt is basically outlining what's going on the menu and such, as always. So, we've got Play All Stories, Pick a Story, Fun and Games, Sing Along Song, Read Along Story. Let's go ahead and transition to Pick a Story. So, here's our Pick a Story section. We have Thomas and the Search for Fergus. We have A Bad Day at Castle Lock. Toby and the Windmill. The Runaway Elephant. James and the Queen of Sodor. And Oliver the Snow Engine. So, back to the menu here. Fun and Game Shed. So this is in that Season 6 style of menu, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, we have the Sodor Spelling Game, Picture Puzzle Fun, Character Gallery, and Computer Fun. So we're not going to play any of these games. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sing-along song, which is Troublesome Trucks, which this is the way I heard this song growing up as a kid. And we have the read-along story, which is The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Sorry. It's Midnight Ride of Thomas the Tank Engine. It's interesting. Maybe I'll take a look at that after this episode's finished. Anyway, that is the menu tour of the 2006 version of Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. Something I find interesting is it says Thomas and Friends up here. It doesn't say Thomas and the Really Brave Engines in a blue bar like it should. Anyway, let's go ahead and transition to the 2014 version of Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. Alright everybody, now we're here looking at Thomas and the Really Brave Engines from 2014, and there's virtually no difference. Mr. Hatt here is not telling us what's going on here, it's just the new series music, and here's proof. It is just the new series music, so yeah, as far as I can tell, everything is exactly the same. They didn't really change anything for it. Pick a Story section seems to be the same. Oh, we're missing the Computer Fun section, which was on this shed here. Now we only have 3 buttons instead of 4, so that's something that's different. Let's look at the sing-along song. Same one. Let's look at the read-along story. It is still The Midnight Ride of Thomas the Tank Engine, or Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. So, yeah. Pretty much nothing has changed. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. Alright, so back from the close-up, and last time I answered the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? Places like eBay and such. I bought my copy from, I believe it was Walmart, about a year ago at this point. Probably longer than that. It was back when Avengers Age of Ultron first came out on Blu-ray, so it's what? That was back in, August of 2015? So yeah, it's been about a year now, so you might still be able to find it in stores. I'm not so sure, don't quote me on that, but you might be able to if you look hard enough. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? You know, I'm kind of indifferent on what I'm going to answer for this question, because on the one hand, it has been printed recently, but the question is, has it been printed nowadays? I'm going to have to say no to that because I have not seen a recent copy in person. The only one I've seen is that 2-pack version with, Thomas and the Toy Workshop, the one I got at Walmart over a year ago. So I'm going to answer no to that. Number 3, should you pick this product up? This is the last Season 7 release in the US, which is pretty freaking spectacular that we got Season 7 freaking complete. Because this is 2006. Season 7 stopped airing. It was 3 years ago now that the UK had the entire Season 7 air, and we in the US had just gotten, the first Season 7 release of New Friends for Thomas in 2004, and then we had to wait a couple more years, and then we finally get, Percy saves the day and hooray for Thomas, and finally we get Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. This isn't even all of Season 7. We're still missing one episode, and that episode is Thomas and the Avalanche, which is included on Mud, Glorious Mud, which that will come out a couple years from now. So technically we still don't have all of Season 7. Season 7 was released in such a weird way here in the US. Just thought I'd clear that up. Anyway, do I recommend this or not? As I've stated before, I'm not the biggest fan of Season 7. I think it's a fine season. It's not better than Season 6, in my opinion. I think I've said that before. You all have heard me rant about Season 7. But I don't hate the season, so I'm going to give this a recommend. Plus, it does have a episode featuring my favorite engine, Oliver. And I think that story of Oliver the Snow Engine is probably one of the better Oliver stories, to be honest with you. I don't, however, like Michael Brandon's voice for Oliver. I'm a great Western engine. I shouldn't have to shiver. Yeah, it just doesn't fit the character at all. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1, especially if you find it in stores. It's pretty cheap if you find it in stores. And number 5, what price should you pay for the VHS version? These later VHS releases are starting to get more and more rare. You're going to have to pay a little bit more. I'd say for the original VHS copy from 2006, go upwards of about 7, 8, maybe even 10 if you're really into it. But for the DVDs, I would only say go upwards of 5, maybe 6 or 7 for them because they're pretty common. So that's the HMR for Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. Our next episode is going to be on Thomas's Halloween Adventures. I know I'm jumping the timeline a little bit. I should really be doing Track Stars after this, and I really should have done Percy Saves the Day and Steamy's versus Diesels a couple episodes back. But I don't own those two. And plus, our next regular episode is going to air on Halloween, so Thomas's Halloween Adventures makes perfect sense. So anyway, I will see you all next time, and as always, good night, everybody.